Hello, Karu. What's up? I figured I haven't made a video in a long time, so I'd make one real quick. This is just a bunch of footage that I had sitting around that I figured I'd put in the video and then talk over. So what we've got here is actually the first footage you saw was a bridge, the 8th Street Bridge, and that bridge is coming out. Actually, I think today it's supposed to close, although I walked this morning and I saw it. Then you see flowers in the garden, and this is kind of cool. This giant bale of hay, and there are a couple of these big bales, like the really big ones. There's the other one up on the flatlands north of town, up there, up by the fields. And Scott and I walk up there, and those bales got wet, and then spontaneously combusted, and over a period of about 2.5 weeks burned down to nothing. Just kind of smoldered the whole time. So actually there's just piles of ash up there now. More flowers. Anyway, you're also going to see a bunch of footage of like various animals that we saw on the Riverwalk here. Anyway, so yeah, life has just been kind of moving along. I've been working on Sarah's books for this guide book that we're creating. I finished all 14 of the books so far. I guess there's actually 14 novels and a novella, and mapped them all, and now I'm in the process of doing a little QA/QC on that, which is fun. Garrett's enjoying his job at, oh yeah, these are goats that are used to clean up the Riverwalk. They bring in a herd of goats. I know we've posted video of that before. Anyway, Garrett's enjoying his job with the city. Doing well, I think, other than the fact that he blew up the motor in his car, which I think I told you about. We're getting ready in a couple weeks to go to camp, so that should be fun. Next weekend we're going to Brighton's wedding reception. So Brighton's getting married, but they're doing a wedding with just he and Kayla and their parents. So they're doing a really small wedding and then a reception. Oh, and this footage here, you'll see a little muskrat in the side channel of the river there. There you can see it swimming. Right, goes behind a tree there. There it comes. Yeah, so another little animal. So yeah, anyway, Brighton's getting married. We're going up there on Saturday. But first, on Friday night, I'm actually playing the farmer's market with Margaret and Jen and a friend of mine named Greg, who's going to play the cajon, who's actually a good percussionist. So, yeah, looking forward to that. Actually, last Friday I played at a restaurant called AJ's Little Cafe, which was fun. Had a good time doing that. It wasn't quite 3 hours, but it was it was fun to go down and play. I haven't actually performed like that at a huge set in a long time. And then actually Saturday, day before yesterday, we had the men's chorus concert for the spring. And that went well. Sarah enjoyed it, other than the fact that there were a lot of misogynistic songs, which I may or may not have already told you about. They're all in context of older musicals and plays. Oh, this footage, this is from setting up for the graduation party we went to 2 weekends ago up in Pullman. So, as you know, the whole castle of Pullman kids graduated. So this is footage of the drive back from that. The other thing that actually the last few days I've been doing is watching World Cup soccer. And I'm curious, have you been watching any? I watched, I've not been super tuned in to what's going on with the World Cup. Hadn't been paying that close attention, and all of a sudden we got a text from a friend of ours whose son I coached, and she said, "Hey, I'm down at the bar. Do you and Sarah want to come down and watch the Portugal-Spain game?" And so we went down and watched the Portugal-Spain game with Sophie and her friends, and that was actually really fun. And I've watched a bunch of the games since then. I got to say, I've developed less and less tolerance for all the diving and the whining, and the Portugal-Spain game just drove me crazy. And they play these super slow replays to try to see if there's a foul or something. I don't know if you watched that game, but I've seen so many fouls called that are they're just ticky-tack things. The penalty kicks, actually I just watching the first half of the England-Tunisia game, and the the penalty kick that Tunisia got, I just thought, that's just a ticky-tacky foul. And actually, Peru got a ticky-tacky penalty kick against, who did they lose? They lost 1-0 to, they were actually the better team, but they got a penalty kick and they missed. But, the guy, it's crazy. He takes the ball, the defender sticks out his leg, kind of pulls it back, and the attacking player, reaches his leg out around the defender's leg and hooks it, and it's like, it just drives me crazy. It's like, and you can see that his intent was, there's no intent to actually try to play soccer. It's just looking for the penalty kick. And I know that's always been around, but Ronaldo's PK that he got in the Portugal game was just, the defender stuck out his leg, pulled it back, and his foot was planted on the ground, and the ball's gone, and Ronaldo easily, could have avoided him, and instead reaches out his leg and clips him and falls down. And actually the foul that Ronaldo got on that final free kick, the defender comes up behind him in front of the box and puts his hands on his back just to feel him, and Ronaldo pulls up the landing gear and falls on his face, and it's like, you can't call those fouls. It's ridiculous. Now the interesting thing was in the Mexico Germany game, which was really entertaining. I thought Mexico played really well. I thought they actually deserved to win that game. I think Germany's clearly the better team, but I thought Mexico had the better game. But the ref actually was letting that ticky-tacky stuff go, much more so than in the earlier games, and I really appreciated that. He wasn't, the Mexican players were coming in and maybe even a little more than they should have, but they were coming in and making contact, and he was just letting it play, and I just, I felt so much more comfortable with that. But I'm just so sick. You watch, Ronaldo's an incredible player, and he had a hat trick, and his free kick was amazing, but, it just makes me sick to watch him get rewarded for diving twice in that game. Portugal had no business being even in that game. And I guess, diving's part of the game, so if you're going to dive him, you got to give him credit. He's doing what he's been taught to do, but it just you compare that to the way Messi plays, and Messi will go down if he gets contact, but Messi's always trying to make a soccer play. He's not trying to get the referee to win the game for him, and it's just frustrating. So yeah, we watched the Brazil match too, and Brazil looked great in the first 20 minutes and then kind of sat back. Anyway, lots of soccer. So, this footage here actually is a mink. If you look down here, you'll see on this log, that's a mink that we saw out in the river. I've never seen a mink. Initially, I thought it was a river otter, but my friends told me it's a mink. And this is Popcorn Dog. This is Pearl up, actually, on Saturday morning. I was walking with Scott, and he threw the stick, and the weed has gotten so tall that Pearl can't find it. So yeah, we had a good time with that. Anyway, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Want to make a short video. Hope you're having a good time. I will talk to you soon. Take care.